them in a dead state where Esau can rule in complete wickedness, man, right? Everything is, like the brother said, everything organic is being trumped upon, trying to be taken out of the picture. Okay, all the ways of the Heavenly Father are being trying to be done away with on this side, man. Through this damn devil, man. That's right. You know, that's why he has to be taken out of the way, because if not, shit, everything is gonna blow up. That's right, no?
And if I can say this, the reason they hate this truth and they hate our spirit is because we're taught to think, man, not taught what to think. Now they even did an exclusive report on that, man. They said these kids be getting these $80,000 and $100,000 educations, and they taught what to think. They not taught how to think, man. Through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, you're to be persuaded in your own mind. So through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, you're taught to think. Okay? And like the brother said, this is society, so-called white man can rule over you. Once you question it, you going up, you know?
That's right, man. Because that's the whole tone of the men of the Lord, man. We question the status quo. In fact, we're telling you that the status quo is wicked, and that the Most High is about to destroy this status quo of wickedness that's been set up and replace it with something new, something righteousness, something that's going to endure forever. And that's why people hate us, man, because we boldly profess it, man.
Isaiah chapter 24.
Start at, yeah, go ahead and start at the top.
Behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof.
That's right, and that's talking about the time that we're coming into now, man. Which I referenced earlier, that the scriptures talk about that the earth abideth forever. But this land right here that you know of as America, man, it's gonna be an utter desolate wilderness, man. Oh, man. From those thermonuclear missiles, man, that are gonna be set over here, man. Go ahead.
Verse 2, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly empty.
That's right. So that's basically talking about all different types of people from all aspects of life, man. Rich, poor, whether you got influence and notoriety in this society, or if you drive a bus. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, he's an equal opportunity judgment distributor. I'm just making up words, but hey, that's true though. Yeah. He's not a respecter of persons, man. You know? Go ahead.
Utterly spoiled, for Yahweh hath spoken this word.
That's right, utterly spoiled. Talking about the land, Great Babylon, that we're standing on right now, man. It's gonna be utterly destroyed. And hey, we gonna be in Great Babylon too. We're not exempt from witnessing these judgments, but the thing is, why it's so important for us to recognize the times and that we need to repent and come back to trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, preaching this word, praying to the Most High for faith, is because we hope to be saved out of this madness, man. Because the scriptures also said that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. Go ahead.
Verse 4, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away.
That's right.
The haughty people of the earth do languish.
That's right, man. So that's talking about the time that we're coming into now, man. Because the Most High has had enough with this place. The angels, the earth itself, man, trees, the animals, everything's crying out for what's currently set up to be put down, man. Go ahead.
Verse 5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
That's right, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. And that's talking about chiefly the Edomites who are in power, these elites, man, who run society. Why? Go ahead.
Because they have transgressed the laws.
Because they have transgressed the laws, man. Get Psalms 50 and 16 real quick. I'm gonna just break this down because the scriptures tell you in Psalms, I believe, is it 147 and 19, that the law, statutes, and commandments was only given to the nation of Israel. But the so-called white man, the Edomites, they put this book in their hand and they proclaim this to be the book of the land. So guess what? America's gonna be judged according to the Bible. All these wicked laundry list of sins that we can go through, whether it be homosexuality, usury, murder, you know what I'm saying? We can just go on and on and on. The Most High is going to be justified because this place breaks every law in this Bible, man.
Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, when thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit.
That's right, and that's talking about the so-called white man, the nation of Edom. It says, which casteth thy word behind thee. Because like I always got to use the court example. They'll swear you in if you in court. You know what I'm saying? If you in a trial, they'll swear you in with your right hand on the Bible. That's the hypocrisy of America. They'll swear you in, right hand on the Bible, but guess what? When it's time to deliberate and make a verdict, they're judging you according to a set of penal codes, which is all arbitrary. It's like a moving goalpost, man. You know what I'm saying? But since they took this book in their hand, man, they're going to be subject to those judgments. That's the point I wanted to get. Go back to that.
Isaiah 24 and verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
That's right.
Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate.
That's right. Therefore hath the curse, man, hath devoured the earth. And it's the same, man. It's nothing new under the sun, man. We can read about those plagues that the Most High put on ancient Egypt, right? The same things is coming to America, man. This is modern day Egypt. You got a pyramid on the back of your dollar bill.
That's right.
You can't tell me this ain't Egypt, man, spiritually, man. Read that part again, Baba Shari. Just that last part of verse 5.
Because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth. And they that dwell therein are desolate.
And they that dwell therein are desolate, man. So the Most High, man, he's about to do a mass genocide. You know what I'm saying? And there's only going to be a remnant or an election that's going to be saved. Go ahead.
Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
That's right. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. And we're those few good men that are going to be set up to remain once all this hell and once the Most High's judgment takes place through that thermonuclear destruction. We hope to be the last man standing, you know? And if we continue, like the scripture said, it gotta be men on the earth that have to fulfill that lot. And the scriptures talk about you shall know a tree by its fruit, judge them by the fruit, man. Who else is doing what we doing, man? And in the manner that we're doing it in too, because you got a lot of Israelite camps out there that go out and preach this stuff, man. The Bible tell our people that they Israelites, that they maybe need to follow certain laws of the Bible, but there's only a certain group of men that are teaching the completeness of the doctrine and basically to glorify Yahweh Shah. You know what I'm saying? So we got a shot at this thing, man. That's the hope that it should catapult our faith, man, to continue on. That we gonna be those last men left standing. Go ahead, start at the top and then kind of jump around.
2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High has made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
That's right. So the Most High hath made this world for many, man, but the world to come for few. Because it tells you in Matthew the 7th chapter, man, what broad is the way of destruction, but narrow is the way that leadeth unto life, man. That's why the scriptures also talk about this coming into this faith, man. Basically walking that straight line, it's called the straight gate, which that's a position of difficulty, man. It's a hard road. Only few men gonna find that road, and only few men gonna finish that road. You know what I'm saying? But that destruction path is broad. That's why we just read the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So only few men gonna basically be saved out of this hellhole called America, and gonna be set back up to basically see the beginning stages of the kingdom of heaven being set up. Go ahead.
I will tell thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mold, that whereof earthen vessels are made.
That's a lot. I want to jump down like 50, I think like 55 or 54.
Verse 55. And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways.
That's right, man. What verse you that? Jump up.
Verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
That's right, and we're seeing that happen too, man. For many great miseries, man, shall come to them that dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And that's coming to the streets of America. We see it all throughout the earth right now. Like, you got all those damn riots in, like, Venezuela. You got the damn Ishmaelites getting their heads blew off over in Syria, Afghanistan, Pakistan, all throughout the Middle East. But some of those same calamities and judgments, man, it's about to touch this place, man, because people in America, they talk about what, American pride, the land of the proud and the brave, whatever that nonsense and them damn patriotic songs that they have you singing, man, in school. But the Most High hates pride, and the scriptures also talk about in Proverbs that pride goeth before destruction. So many that dwell in the world have walked in great pride, man. Misery is about to come to this place, man. Go ahead.
I'd say this. And now it is happening on a bigger scale across the world, but there are certain little small instances where it's happening now right here in America. But like I said, like Brother going into, the closer we get to this thing, the bigger the judgments are going to be. You know, but also like you read in Isaiah 24, the hardy people are languishing. The Most High is taking the pride out of this place, man. He's bringing it down. He's killed the spirit of this place, man. Look around. People don't be clubbing like they used to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't smiling like they used to, man. Why? Because this shit's falling, man. It's evident. Everybody's happy as hell right now. Verse 51. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like.
That's right, but understand for thyself. Man, this demon's always coming out, man. Read that again, that last year.
Verse 51. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee.
But it says, understand for thyself, man. Because the scriptures tell you in Philippians, man, that we got to work out our own soul salvation with fear and trembling. So, man, the only person that you need to be worried about is yourself, man. Getting this word for yourself. And then it says, and for those that be like unto thee, those other elect men. Matter of fact, get 2 Timothy, the 2nd chapter, just hold that. But, so we ain't worried about trying to wake up the whole nation of Israel. Why? Because it's already written in Zechariah that the Most High, he's gonna destroy 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Because they're engulfed in wickedness, and they're not gonna come out of it. They're not gonna repent. So we're only worried about us working out our own salvation in the other fellow elect brothers that's walking in the faith, co-laboring in the faith alongside with us, man. We ain't worried about nobody else, man. We're not trying to save black people or spigs or whatever you want to call these clowns on this sign right now. Because 2/3 of our people, they don't even deserve to be called Israelites right now. Because when you break the word Israel down in the Hebrew, it's Yasharallah, or he is a prince of God, or he is a prince of power. And our people, man, they want to be slaves, man.
That's right.
That's why we're not worried about them. That's why people want to say, y'all preaching hate, because we're only worried about the elect. Once the elect gets sealed, baby, hey, it's game time. Go ahead.
Verse 52. For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed, yea, perfect goodness and wisdom.
That's right, and that's talking about in the kingdom, man. All of those attributes, that's talking about when we're dwelling in the kingdom of heaven, man. Which we know that the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven, that's going to be the elect that are being up out of here. So right now, that's the game plan. That's the mission right now. The scriptures talk about that we're fishers of men. We're basically trying to cast out the bait, which is the word, to seal up the elect, not the whole nation of Israel. That's a huge misconception. It ain't going to be getting together with the whole nation right now, man, on this side. We'll see you on the next side, man. That's it. Go ahead and get 2 Timothy 2, start at the top.
2 Timothy chapter 2.
If you want to speak.
Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushai. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also.
Can you read it again, brother?
2 Timothy chapter 2. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushai.
That's right, I'm going to break it down. It says, therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that's in Yahushua. We're in a time of grace, right? So the men that the Most High is setting up to learn this truth, man, we got to be strong, man. Understanding that grace is basically a time period to what? Get your life in order before that judgment comes, before the Lord come back, right? So we got to be strong in the grace. Being strong in the grace means what? Basically examining your life, repenting, taking heed to how you're living your life, preaching the word, you know what I'm saying? Living your life according to the word, you know what I'm saying? Just basically embodying the ways of righteousness, which is the ways of Yahushua. Basically not using your liberty for an occasion to fulfill the lust of the flesh. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men.
That's right. So the same things that you have heard of me, which we have heard of Yahushua, commit thou unto faithful men, that they shall be able to teach others also. So that's the main mission of the plan. Right. To teach the word, to enlighten a fellow elect brother's mind that he'll come into the fold and he can go out there and teach. And even if he don't come into what is known as a Great Millstone, a GMS, man, the Yahushua said you can do nothing against this truth, man. So it's going to be some brothers that don't come under the banner of Great Millstone, that the Most High, they part of the elect. If they not going off in the doctrine, if they faithfully preaching the word, hey, I'm all for it.
Say this, so that's what happened with the disciples, man.
Yep.
You know, there was a group of guys that was teaching, but they weren't really affiliated with Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So yeah, this is paraphrasing Yahushua, man. They're not doing nothing wicked, man, or against the truth, man. Then let them go. Let them teach. They on the right doctrine, man. You ain't got to be specifically affiliated with Great Millstone to teach the truth. As long as you're on the right path and teaching the right word, hey, that's fine. You can be by yourself as long as you understand where the truth is coming from and understand what you're teaching. You know?
And see how fair we are as men of the Lord, man. We just saying how it is. That's why these niggas that be scoffing, y'all are just some unfair, just unbalanced, just demonic females, man. I can't even call y'all men, man. Because we fair, like we give credit where it's due, man. We qualify everything. Now it just so happens, and it's just the truth, that we know that Great Millstone, that the men that the Most High set up through the Spirit, the apostles of Great Millstone, they have the truth. So for other guys that may be out there teaching and doing their own thing, man, it's a good chance that they came up under Great Millstone's teaching. Or furthermore, the old One West school, you know? But just going back to the topic, man, the things that we've learned of Yahushua, we're supposed to commit those things into faithful men, not fickle men, faithful men. Men that's gonna stand strong in their belief and not waver, man. That they may be able to teach others also. Because I think it's in Matthew 3 and 8. Fruit me for repentance. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier for Hamashiach Yahushua.
That's right. It says, now therefore endure hardness as a soldier of Yahushua. So brothers, man, this road, it's a tough road, man. The scriptures talk about, like, when you first learn about the truth, man, it talks about it's like honey going down your belly. It's sweet when it goes in, but then once you understand the gravity of what you're a part of, man, it becomes bitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why Solomon said in Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, he says, with much wisdom comes much sorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because we know what's at stake. We know that we're not in our rest right now. We know that our enemy is ruling over us right now. We know that most of our people are caught up in a wicked vibration right now. We know that our women are set up over us right now. We know that there's a war between us and our women right now. Just life and how it's supposed to be is just completely turned upside down. So that makes us heavy in our spirit. Now, when you first learn that you're an Israelite, learn certain things, like, you know, you be ready to teach and, you know what I'm saying, it feel good. But, you know what I'm saying, the scriptures talk about endure hardness as a soldier. So that talks about, like, when you really come into the faith, when you make the decision, or the Most High calls you to come out and teach, man, you got to endure hardness as a soldier. And that word soldier means solitary, meaning one deep. Even though we are a body of brothers, but I always got to say, you got to work out your own soul salvation, man. Like, I can't piggyback off this brother to get into the kingdom. This brother can't piggyback off me, man. We all soldiers in the trenches, man. We all got to have our spiritual weapons ready to fire, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to gird up our lines, man.
Revelation chapter 10, start at verse 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be on thy mouth sweet as honey.
That's right. So like I said, man, when you first learn this word, when you first, like when the Most High put the spiritual, when he understands you to know, like, man, the prophecies in Deuteronomy 28, hey, that makes sense. We are the Israelites, man. When you start understanding certain laws that you're supposed to keep, you know what I'm saying? Basically, you start understanding the rich nature and the legacy of our people. That makes you feel good. But then when it really sets in, when you really understand the task and the will of the Heavenly Father and how we gotta take the low on this side, man, it becomes bitter. Because we gotta forsake this world, man. Go ahead, brother.
Just real quick. Matthew 5, verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
That's right. So the scripture says, blessed is the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High is dealing with men of a contrite spirit, man. Meaning men who have like just been broken down by certain weights and burdens that this society places on us, man. But the Most High is dealing with that type of spirit because that spirit can be humble, man. And that spirit can be built up. On the other hand, the Most High hates men that are built up in pride. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing for a man of a contrite heart or a broken spirit, and that's us, man. We ain't got nothing to take pleasure in this society except for the word of the Heavenly Father and the brotherhood. That's it. Go ahead, brother. What was you at? Kind of go back there.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
That's right. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Because believe it or not, brothers, right now, we're in a spiritual war right now. Everything starts spiritual, and then it translates into it has to manifest into the flesh. Like America's destruction in the spiritual realm, already done. It just has to play out in the Most High set time that he has reserved for that to play out. So right now, this is a spiritual act. We're in a spiritual war. Like basically, the weapons of our warfare are spiritual right now through this word. We're tearing down strongholds. There's a stronghold of lies that has been cast and that has our people in complete darkness. But we, with that truth, we're trying to tear down that stronghold. But guess what? It's gonna flip to the spiritual. Get Jeremiah 16:16. But oh wait, it's gonna translate into the physical, man. But the scriptures also says in Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter, the Lord says, wait ye upon me. So it ain't time for us to try to gather weapons together to try to come against the so-called white man. Been there, done that, didn't work, let's move on. We can go through all these different lists, the Black Panthers, you know what I'm saying, the Brown Berets, the Chicano movements, all these different movements that had to try to form militias and come up carnally against our enemy. It's not gonna work. Because the scriptures tells us that Esau's blessing is the sword. So you're gonna lose every time, man. This man has all type of weaponry, man. So we gotta fight spiritually and wait on the Most High to allow us to get activated and elevated in the spirit to where we'll be prepared to fight when this thing's turn physical. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not gonna be according to our spirit. The Most High is gonna have to put his spirit in us, man, when this thing hits the physical level. Go ahead and get that real quick.
Jeremiah 16:16.
Because if I could say this, man, we not going to be out here doing this forever, man. We ain't going to just be out preaching the word, man, forever. Go ahead, brother.
That window of grace is closing real fast.
That's right.
Behold, Jeremiah 16:16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said Yahweh, and they shall fish them.
That's right. So the scripture says, behold, I shall send for many fishers. So what do fishers do, right? we fishing, right? And fishers, you gotta wait too. That shows the spirituality of this book, man. When you fishing, you just gotta wait. You gotta wait patiently, man. And basically, like I referenced earlier, we're fishers of men. We're casting out the word, which that's the bait. But pretty soon, guess what? The Most High is gonna flip the script. Go ahead.
And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks.
That's right. So there's gonna be a time where fishermen are gonna be fishing, but then the Most High is gonna flip it to where they're gonna be hunters. And what does a hunter do, brother? Exactly. You hit the nail